Good morning, evening, afternoon, everyone. Thanks for coming. Marc Smith is going to do a special session for us today on bidding minor suit slams, and they are so hard to bid. This is going to be a wonderful session. So, Marc, you want to tell us what your format is going to be today?
Yep, we're going to do this. I've done 12 hands, and we'll have two people sit north-south for each pair of hands, so people can come in and out for a couple of hands. I think the hands are organised so, in principle, so that north and south should alternate as declarer. So they'll bid the hands, and then they can play them, and there should be something of interest in play as well.
Sounds perfect. Okay, so our first couple here are going to be J.C. Creech and Ken Berg.
Yes, very good. We've got to the right contract. Now, a couple of points about the bidding is South correctly bid two diamonds, not two spades. Even though two clubs is game forcing, reversing should still show extra values. You're never going to miss a spade fit, because if you bid two diamonds and partner has four spades, you can bid two spades. So you don't need to worry about that. But even playing two over one, two spades should show extra values. Then over three diamonds, he bids three spades because his partner can bid three no trump, he's going to give up. So bids below three no trump tend to be looking for the right game. Once North goes beyond three no trump to four clubs, it's clearly a slam try. And then we're in a cue bidding situation. But three spades doesn't tell you about heart control, just that I've got something in spades if you want to bid three no trump. So it's quite a good auction. Now all we have to do is make seven diamonds. You should cube it first and second round controls up the line. So basically, if you miss a suit out, you don't have a control of it. That's once you're in cue bidding auction. But for example, three spades in this auction does not deny heart control. It says I have something in spades and need heart value for three no trump. Yes, correct. Yeah, three spades is not a cube, it shows values a spade value. so that if partner has heart values, you can bid three no trump. It only becomes a Q bid once it's above three no trump. I'll give Declare a clue here. You're trying to find a way of making the contract when diamonds are 3-1 and clubs are 4-1. Obviously, if either suit breaks, it's easy. Yeah, okay. When you have four spades and 5 or 6 diamonds like this, and partner bids a 2/1, 2 spades is still a reverse. So you should still play it as showing extra values. So even though 2/1 is game forcing, 2 spades should still show extra values because it helps partner. Otherwise, you end up at the 4 level and you don't know if you've got 12 opposite 12 or 17 opposite 17 if you just bid your suits out. Whereas if you play 2 spades, shows extra values, say 15 count. You could bid 2 diamonds and you're never going to miss a spade fit because if partner's got 4 spades and 5 clubs, he'll bid a diamond, 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 spades. So you're still going to find a spade fit, but if South bids 2 spades, it shows extra values. Are we going to play? Declare has to play the hand. Yes, well done. Well bid. Well played by South. Okay, so obviously the hand is easy if the diamonds are 2-2 or the clubs are 3-2. But as you see, the line of play followed enabled you to make the contract when neither suit breaks. So No problem. Okay, a couple of quick words on bidding. My feeling on is that I agree with the auction up to 3 hearts. That's not a positive response. In general, you make positive responses on good suits. So something like King Queen 10 to 5 in a minor, King Queen 10 to 6 in a major, King Queen 10 to 6 in a minor should be the minimum sort of suit. So you don't bid bad suits on good hands. I mean, you have a poor hand, but partner's got a good hand. You know it's a slam hand when you've got an 8 count and partner opens 2 clubs. So you don't want to be bidding poor suits. Now, I agree with the auction therefore up to 3 hearts. I think North now should bid 3 no trump, because where does he want to play the hand opposite 3 small, jack to 5, 3 small, 2 small, which is all the partner's shown. 4 clubs says okay. But the trouble is that the South hasn't really shown anything yet. He could have bid 5 clubs, I suppose, with a weaker hand. But 4 clubs, he has to bid something. If he's got a Yarborough with no diamond stop, what's he going to bid over 3 spades? That's the danger of bidding 3 spades, is you want to play in 3 no trump. If partner's got nothing. There's also, this hand's a good illustration of why, when your suit is a minor, you should play kickback rather than blackwood, which is basically the suit above the agreed trump suit is blackwood. So 4 diamonds here is blackwood. See, the problem of bidding normal blackwood, if you play 14-30, you don't know that you can afford to bid blackwood on the north hand because you don't want a 5 diamond response from 0. That takes you beyond clubs. So that's the advantage of playing 4 diamonds as blackwood. North could bid blackwood over 4 clubs easily if it's 4 diamonds and bid it opposite the ace of hearts. Okay, let's see if we can make 12 tricks. Oh, no. Okay, after 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 3 clubs, you need to be able to find 4 forfeits and 5 3-fits in the major. So, a major suit bid should show 5 cards so that partner should raise on 3, and 3 diamonds is statement. Essentially, it says you have a 4-card major. That way you can find the 4-4 major suit fit as well. But when partner has minor as diamonds, it's more difficult. Well, if I've got time, I'll come back to that at the end. There is a nice little toy you can play to solve that problem as well. But it's more important that you find 5-3 and 4-4 major suit fits after 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 3 clubs. Right. 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 3 clubs. 3 of a major shows 5, so the partner knows he can raise with 3. If you only have 4-card majors, you bid 3 diamonds, which is basically statement. And partner can bid a 4-card major, and that way you can find a 4-4 fit if you've got one of those. You can play minor wood, but the problem is that South really needs to be able to bid 4 clubs. Let's say that North does bid 3 no trump over 3 hearts in this auction. South needs to be able to bid 4 clubs now, and then North needs to be able to bid backward. So minor doesn't really work in these sort of auctions. Kickback, of all the methods, kickback is the best. Yeah, the answer to the doctor's question is that you really don't have room for a second negative after 3 clubs or 3 diamonds. You can do it after a partner with 2 spades or something like that, but not really after 3 clubs. Well, 3 clubs forced a game. 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 no trump is the only non-name forcing sequence, so everything's forcing the game other than 2 no trump. So okay, that was unlucky because you found the winning play. You found the extra 36% chance. Um, the right play is to catch the ace of clubs and play 3 rounds of hearts to see if the hearts are 3-3. Once you've done that, you make the contract by leaving a low club, by playing a club to the 8, forcing an entry to dummy with the 9-8 of clubs, rather than cashing the king of clubs. Playing a low club to dummy guarantees the contract. Yeah, that's right. But playing the hearts straight away is the right line of play. You can always fall back on a diamond to the queen if the hearts don't break. Okay, the next 2. Who's next up, Dubs?
Okay, next up we have Waleed and Ellen.
Yes, I can't argue with the auction at all. That's eminently reasonable. Now, also, uh, if North has had a fourth heart in that sort of hand, I'm a great believer two diamonds is still better than a negative double, because much more likely partner is going to want to know you have four card diamond support than if you have four hearts. When the opponents are bidding spades, the object is to find your best fit. Now, I'm not sure why two diamonds should have five. Particularly because most people play the one diamond shows four. Although I don't even think if it's clubs, I still put two clubs on four. No, I'm afraid not. I will let you into a secret though that I had this hand at the table I went down to. And as soon as I did it, I knew what I'd done. As soon as I played the trump, yeah, this is a baby hand really. There's no excuse for me going down with it either. When you win the ace of spades, you have to ask yourself what could go wrong, and the only thing that could go wrong is the trumps will break 3-0. If the trumps break 3-0, then you have to end play west. Therefore, you have to ruff a spade at trick 2. If you ruff a spade at trick 2, now you play a trump to the ace, a trump to the king. You can ruff another spade, then you just play out your clubs, and eventually West gets thrown in with his diamond winner to lead a heart, or give you a ruff and discard. It is a baby hand, and I confess I got it wrong at the table as well, just careless. But that's what it is. It's careless. It's not thinking enough. This is a very pretty hand. Now, you see, ideally this would be kicked back here. No, Gerber doesn't exist in any auction. If you must play Gerber, play it 1 no trump 4 clubs is the only possible auction where you should play Gerber. But basically, if you throw away Gerber and never play it, you'd be better off. Here, 4 clubs is clearly prepared to agree clubs. I've never seen a 5 no trump response to Blackwood, but I don't know what that moves at 6 aces. Although there is a case that 4 no trump is not Blackwood, my partnership has a rule that the partner of the 2 club opener cannot be Blackwood. It's just a forward-going bid. It shows it's more encouraging than 5 clubs. Ah, right. Okay. So, right. All right. Let me back this up. Uh, South assumed that four diamonds was redwood or kickback or whatever. So four diamonds was blackwood and four no trump was a blackwood response. That seems reasonable. So four no trump showed two key cards and no queen. Yeah, yeah, that's fine. That's why we backed it up. I mean, four diamonds as redwood was fine. Now five diamonds just asked for kings, I suppose. Yeah, I think it's normally specific kings rather than number of kings. And probably five clubs. So yes, five diamonds has to be the ask here. Yeah. Yes, it is usually specific king. You bid your lowest specific king. That's pretty well the auction I have in my notes anyway. So I think that's the auction's pretty hard to improve upon. That seems a normal way to bid this hand. I'm going to back the play up here so that everybody can see what is rather a very clever position. If you haven't seen it here before, it's very difficult to see. You've done the right thing by playing 3 rounds of spades and roughing a spade. So I'll back it up to there. And there's a very clever play that will enable you to make this contract 100%. Okay, having roughed the spade, you need 2 entries to dummy. You need 2 entries to dummy to rough the spade good and then catch the other one. So that's the winning play, is leave the jack of diamonds and run it. If the diamond wins, then that's your 12th trick. If it loses, you now have 2 entries to dummy with the ace and 10 to set up the spade and throw your heart away. So it's what we call a win-win finesse. Yeah, it's rather a neat position that, and it's, if you haven't seen it before, it's quite difficult to see, but it's one of those that you don't care where the Queen of Diamonds is. Okay, Babs, who's next?
Okay, thank you, Waleed and Ellen. And next we have Ace, Skylark, and Dracula. Vlad.
Here we see the downside. If you play 4 diamonds as kickback, this is more difficult hand to bid, so we'll assume it's just a Q bid here. Yeah, we'll assume it's a control, yeah. This sort of hand is the downside of playing kickback. Because you have to bid 4 no trump as the Okay. In answer to the question somebody's asked, why 4 clubs and not 3 spades? And this sort of hand, North has got such a slam suitable hand that he wants to make a slam try rather than just get to 4 spades. 3 clubs is either 5-5 and looking for the best game, or it's 5-4 and at least mild slam interest. And North has such a suitable hand, he wants to agree clubs and play in slam. In fact, my preference would be to bid 4 hearts over 4 clubs. That way you get across the whole hand straight away. It says I've got heart controls, no diamond control, and a huge club fit. But you're not worried that 5 clubs is going down. So yes, as Poker pointed out, this is an elimination hand. You win the diamond, cash the other top diamond, and then play the 2 top hearts and rough a diamond. You can then cash the ace of clubs and play a club to the 10, and you don't care whether it wins or not. If it loses, then if it wins, then you've picked up West Queen to 3 clubs in the West hand, and if it loses, East will be M played to lead a spade into the ace jack or clear up and discard. And it's fairly safe with only 4 hearts and 5 diamonds. It's pretty safe to cash the red suits first. Mm. Well, I can't say I like that, particularly as a three-low trump opening, but the auction, though, seems fine. The contract's good. You want to be in 6 clubs.
Yeah, before we go on, Mark, could you please repeat your preferred auction on the last one?
Sorry, say that again.
On the last one, the hand that we just played, if you could give your preferred auction on that one, please?
Yeah, that's pretty well the auction they had, apart from I would bid 4 hearts over 3 clubs. 4 hearts says it all. I've got heart controls, no diamond control, big club fit. And North can just bid 6 clubs over that, basically. So 1 trump, 2 hearts, 2 spades, 3 clubs, 4 hearts, 6 clubs. You can, but you can't have enough for slam, I don't think. I would just bid 5 clubs over 3 spades. Part of the past over, I've only bid 2 clubs. So, I mean, you can bid 4 diamonds, but partner's only going to bid 5 clubs. So. This is the one hand that's not a slam hand. You've worked that out already. Yeah, I mean, I would bid 5 clubs over 3 spades, but apart from that, I think the auction is impeccable. South cannot have 4 spades, or he would have bid 1 spade over the double. So when he bids 3 spades over 3 clubs, it's a descriptive bid. And that's about describes his hand pretty well. A club, a real club bit and a spade on control, a spade on it. Partners bid very strongly to 3 clubs off absolutely nothing so far. So you've got to make a move over 3 clubs, and 3 spades is the right bid. If you're going to make the problem is if you're going to make a slam with that north hand, partner would have done something over 1 diamond. I think one part of the passes chance of making slam are very small. I don't see the point of roughing a diamond. There's lots of things you want to be in dummy to do. You need to be in dummy 3 times, and you've only got 1 more entry. Okay, it's restricted choice. All right. When he played the Jack of Clubs, there were 2 possible holdings he could have had. He could have Singleton Jack, Singleton Queen, or Queen Jack Doubleton. Now, obviously, Singleton Jack, Singleton Queen are twice as likely as Queen Jack Doubleton. If you want to think of it a different way, when he plays the Jack, when he has Singleton Jack, he has to play the Jack 100% of the time. When he has Queen Jack Doubleton, he only plays it half the time. He plays the Jack half the time and Queen half the time. So when he plays the Jack, it's 2 to 1 odds that the Jack's a Singleton rather than Queen Jack Doubleton. So what you should do is win the King of Clubs and then run the 9 of Clubs. When the 9 of Clubs wins, you can now play a heart to the 9. Note that a heart to the 9 is what you want to do to start the suit rather than a heart to the Queen. You want to start with a heart to the 9, which will win whenever there's Jack 10 on side, as there are here. And if that 9 loses to the 10 on the Jack, you're going to play heart to the Queen next. So once you're in dummy with the King of Clubs, you want to pick up the trumps, Okay, who's next, Babs?
Oh, thank you, Annabelle and Vlad. And next up, we have Joe and Faye. Oh, could you please claim Mark?
Sorry, say one more time.
You could please claim the hand.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Okay, Wiley. Joe, are you out there?
Well, that one's a mouthful. That one's a mouthful to say. Joe's much easier, isn't it?
Very much easier. He said he was on drugs, so maybe he's gone to sleep.
When he made up that name?
Wiley Coyote.
Oh, I see. That's what it says. Oh, I see. That's very good. I see. Wiley Coyote. That's very good. Beep beep, isn't that it? I see. I'm gonna undo that because I meant to make North the dealer on this hand. It may not make any difference, but let's assume North's the dealer. So I'll just put in two passes before so North deal. I agree. I would have opened two diamonds on that as well. Can he not hear me? I want to make that. I want to make it so North is the dealer. So we'll start with two passes. That's all. I meant to make North the dealer. I I understand now. Can he not hear me? Is that not worth a positive? Do you think? We'll see. But yeah, he only passed to because we made you were supposed to be the dealer on the board. That's all. We're going to get into a mess here, I can tell. Can Kafaba hear? Do we know, Babs? Do we know if Kafaba can hear us?
Oh, yes, she said she can hear you.
All right. I think this hand's going to be very difficult for you to bid from here. You need a message. If you can't bid 4 spades to show a diamond slam try over 3-2 no trump, which I'm guessing you can't, then you're going to be in trouble bidding this. Why don't we go back and start with a positive response to 2 clubs? I think that hand, you have to be 3 diamonds on that hand, otherwise it's incredibly difficult to catch up afterwards. I mean, that, to me, that's plenty for a positive. You know, now you feel you've bid your hand. And by the way, another good thing to do is to play a positive response to 2 clubs is forcing to 4 no trump. That way, hopefully I can say if you bid 3 no trump, to say, you know, I have a balanced hand, all I have like this. Or anybody can bid 3 no trump at some point. And it's still forcing. Although the South's quite happy to bid 3 no trump now anyway, I would think. Well, even if you weren't, partner would bid 3 no trump on this hand because he's bid a positive. I mean, this is the advantage. This is the sort of reason why you should bid, why positive response should show good suits. Because you can effectively bid 6 diamonds over 3 no trump on that hand, knowing that partner will have a good diamond suit. Once he bids 3 no trump, he doesn't have much else. Okay. That seems to be sort of giving up. Okay, let's go back a bit. Okay, once West shows out on the second round of diamonds, the first thing we need to know is, do we have a club loser? So the first thing you should be doing now is taking the club finesse. If the club finesse wins, we can more or less claim we can just wrap a heart and give up a diamond. When the club now, what we need to do is reduce our trumps to the same length as East. To win the Ace of Hearts and wrap a heart. And play the Ace of Clubs and wrap a club. Now we can just play a spade to dummy, catch the second spade, and leave the 10 of clubs. And now it doesn't matter whether East has a heart left or a spade left. If he roughs now, we over rough and the spade's good. If he doesn't, we've got him at the end. If we throw a spade and the lead's still in dummy. And whichever card we lead will pick up his trumps. Now, you see how much easier it is to bid these hands when, if you know that partner will have a good suit when he makes a positive response to, this idea you have to have an ace and a king to make a positive, or something like that. I don't care. If you've got king, queen, 10, 9 to 6 in a minor, that should be good enough for a positive. That's about all partner needs to know on this hand. Jack X is quite adequate support opposite a good 6-card minor. So it makes bidding a hand like this so much easier if you make a positive and partner knows you'll have a good suit. You can bid over 3 diamonds, you can bid 3 no trumps to say I've got a balanced hand, because that's forcing partner to bid 4 no trumps to say, okay, I haven't got anything else other than my suit. You can just bid 6 diamonds, basically. You certainly want to get the 6 diamonds, it's basically on 1 out of 2 finesses. And as we see, even when the trumps don't break, you can still make it. No, I think it's very dangerous to pass here. I think you just get stolen off a lot. What are you going to do when partner doubles? That's the problem, is that when partner doubles, you're going to say, well, I can't just bid 3 diamonds because I've got much too much. I think you have to bid 3 diamonds right away. Yeah, the trouble. Yeah, I agree. You're going to double, but now he doesn't know what to do now because it's got way too much for three diamonds. You know, if it is three diamonds, then he would have to do that with nothing. I mean, that's the problem. You know, you no, no. North can't possibly have only three diamonds in this auction. Okay, even if you play better minor, okay, when does partner open a three-card diamond suit when he's 4-4 in the major? Do you really think he can possibly be 4-4 in the majors on this auction? No, because you've got four hearts, the right-hand opponent's got six hearts. So you know 100% partner does not have four hearts, so partner has at least four diamonds. Most people on BBO play 5-5-4-2 anyway, so they play four-card diamonds, but even if you play better minor, partner must have four diamonds on this auction. No, with 4-3-3-3, we'd open a club. It only opens a three-card diamond suit when it's exactly 4-4-3-2. That's just well, you've just made the case for why better minor is a terrible method. I mean, that's why most people play four-card diamonds. Usually, you only play three-card. You only have a three-card diamond when you're 4-4-3-2. Otherwise, bidding just becomes so hard. Well, I don't really understand this. Partners asked you if you've got a heart stop, the three-day trump, and you said no. Okay. You can just tell us whether it's 30 or 41. Now we can't count aces, I suppose. Yeah, right. He's only got one. I think North can work that out with his own hand. I should settle for six diamonds, Joe. All right, we'll have a quick look through the bidding here. Um, a diamond, two hearts. I think South has to bid three diamonds here. Otherwise, if partner reopens with a double, you just don't know what to do. Because, you know, if you bid three diamonds, it's going to pass for all sorts of hands where game's easy. And it's dangerous. What else are you going to bid? Bidding in three diamonds is okay on the first round. I don't really understand the three heart bid. You don't really want to play in three no trump. I think bidding three spades, you have aces and kings. It suggests your hand is suitable for play in a suit. And indeed, I would bid three spades on the north hand, and when partner bids three no trump, I'd still carry on with four clubs. I'm going to play five diamonds, except when partner can cubit four hearts, and then over four spades, cubit five clubs, I'll bid a slam. So, a diamond, two hearts, three diamonds, three spades, three no trump, four clubs, four hearts from south, four spades, five clubs from south, now six diamonds from north. Seems to be a reasonable auction. Alright, let's see if we can make 12 tricks. Yeah, you could bid four hearts splinter over three diamonds. The only problem is, what's partner going to do? I guess you could bid five clubs. If you're bidding three spades and then four clubs, you find out more. Right, now you might look at the hand now and say, oh, well, that's hopeless. I've got a diamond loser and a club loser. But if you count your tricks outside the trump suit, you'll find that you have five: ace, king of clubs, ace, king of spades, and the ace of hearts. So you need seven trump tricks. So, how are you going to make seven trump tricks? You need to score all of your remaining trumps to go with your aces and kings. No, you have to rough hearts as well. You have to score a three heart rough. You better cash that king, or by the time you get around to trying to cash it, it won't cash. Club. Now you see, when you need a heart now, what's West supposed to do? If he roughs with his master trump, you just throw your club loser away. So he has to discard. Yeah, okay, you can do that. Ace and king is better, but that's okay. It works as well. Now when you need your heart again, the same thing happens. You score your trump on pass on. Well, although you appear to have two losers, one of them has disappeared. Yeah, it's an elopement. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Okay, who's next, Babs?
Okay, we'll say thank you to Joe and Faye. And we've got open seating now. Nobody was brave enough to step forward and give me their name. So, anybody, go for it. Free for all.
Somebody for the South Sea. Somebody for the South Sea.
Thank you, Summer. Thank you, Jack.
No. So in 2/1, a jump rebid, it doesn't show extra values specifically, but it does say I have a suit playable offset avoid. No, you're going to be three cards. Three diamonds on this hand. No, it doesn't just take up space. It's a very specific bid. It says I have a more or less solid suit. And it doesn't set the suit. You could still play in no trumps, but often you won't. Well, partner's going to pass that, I would think. I think you're a bit strong for that. You've got aces and kings. Well, we're going to take this auction back, obviously. Well, we're in the right level, but not the right suit. It seems to me you're too good to define your hand yet, so let's just wait and see what happens with something like 3 hearts. All right, it must be. I'm guessing that North can't hear us, Beth. That's a much better bid than 3-no trump, though. Now, South should now bid 4 hearts. Black with too small in a side suit. Bid 4 hearts first, and now if partner bids 4 spades, you can bid Blackwood. Okay. Yeah, that's a much better auction than the first one. Basically, this North hand, 4 diamonds is okay. I prefer 3 hearts, but either is really better than 3-no trump. It's way too good for 3-no trump. Once partner says they have a solid suit. I mean, partner could pass 3-no trump with 12 top tricks easily. We're in a grand slam, yes. in diamonds. Yes, indeed. We might have drawn around the clubs or two before we started on the clubs and arts, but the point was not to discard the spade loser on the king of hearts. We obviously haven't got there. I think with that hand, it's worth 5 clubs rather than 4. You sure you want to play in clubs? I'll then find a trump or something to ask partners to pick one of the minors would be my choice. There are partners offering a choice of minors. Which one would you pick? If partners asking you to pick your better suit, you wouldn't pick clubs, would you? Well, obviously, if clubs are 3-2, you're going to make it no matter what you do. Now, the object is to make the hand when the clubs are 4-1. So, that won't work either. You have to get the dummy with a heart. You have to play a heart. Now you can lead a club through the possible shortage. So if anybody's going to be short, it's going to be the man with the 7 diamonds, not the man with the 1. So, by leading a club through him, if he roughs, all he's doing is roughing his partner's club winner. So, that you can win. Yes, indeed. And declare is now going to draw trumps and claim. So. So every time, it's always right to set the side suit up before touching trumps when you have a two-suited hand. And in this hand, if anybody's going to be short, it's going to be the man with the seven spades. By leading the second round of clubs through him, what you do is, if he roughs you, all he's doing is roughing his partner's club winner. He could have roughed, in which case you would play low, play one round of trumps, and now play king of clubs and rough a club. So whatever he did, you were going to make the contract. Okay, one more pair of hands. So whoever wants to sit. Yeah, we've got Kefaba and Ellen, I think, wants to sit. Ellen, you want the last seat? No. Go on, Ellen. Yeah, go on. Yeah, somebody pointed out, with Queen Jack to four clubs on this auction, a trump lead would have beaten the hand. And indeed, that's what should delete. But everybody needs a single from their partner's suit. But you're right, a trump lead would beat this hand, and that's what they should have led. See, this hand, unlike the one we saw earlier, can reverse because it has extra values. Yeah, in answer to the question, if you're playing inverted minors, then North could bid two diamonds over one diamond, yes. Yeah, the auction works fine probably either way. All you have to know now is, well, it's Blackwood, four hearts and four no trump. No, you wouldn't bid six diamonds. Well, 14.30, yeah? Well, what did you need to bid a Grand Slam? I mean, if you're not going to bid 7 now, at least bid 5 no trump to ask partner if there's anything extra. Now, but that's a reasonable auction. I mean, if South bids 5 no trump over 5 diamonds, North should decide the Queen of Hearts as all partner needs. You know, North hand can't be any better. Well, that's a blow. If the trumps had been 3-1, you could have just claimed because you just rough your heart in dummy. Now roughing your heart in dummy is quite dangerous. But you should be able to see your way home, but again, by counting your tricks outside the trump suit. That's always a good way to find a good line of play. When you're counting tricks, is count your tricks outside the trump suit. Yeah, I will. I'll get through it at the end. Sorry about that, everyone. Forgot it doesn't like undos. Alright, let's just open 7 diamonds and we'll go through the play. Right, when North leads a trump, and all looks hunky-dory, because you think, oh, I can just drop a heart and dummy and that's my 13th trick until the trumps are 4-0. So, you win the diamond and dummy, let's say, and when the trumps are 4-0, you have to find another way of making your 13th trick. So let's count our tricks outside the trump suit. We've got 3 spades, 3 hearts, and 1 club, so we need to make 6 trump tricks. Now, the obvious way to make 6 trump tricks is by ruffing 2 clubs. So, if we play a club to the ace, we can play a spade to the ace, and ruff a club, and play king and diamonds, and play a heart to the ace, and we can ruff a club with the queen. Draw trumps throwing a heart from hand, and we're left with 2 spade winners and 2 heart winners. No, we're going to draw a trump. Play trump, trump. Trump throwing the heart loser. And queen of hearts and our hand is high. So anytime you seem to be a trick short, if you count your tricks outside the trump suit, that'll tell you how many trump tricks you need, and that'll often point you to the winning play. I mean, it's sort of a dummy reversal, but it's not. It's because you've got so many trumps, you only need to ruff twice. But that way you make an extra trump trick. And the last deal. a reasonable shot. No, I did Blackwood first in case part out ace jack to 7. No, certainly not. King Queen 10 to 6, King Jack 10 to 6, something like that. I wouldn't be 6. I wouldn't be 3 clubs on this hand because I don't think the clubs are good enough, actually. But it's not unreasonable. That's about an absolute minimum suit. King Jack to 6. No, I certainly wouldn't bid it with 5. Well, that's what this is. King Jack to 6. No, I wouldn't because it's not. It's marginal. King Queen 9 to 6. I would certainly. Um, yeah, I prefer. Well, as I say, I probably wouldn't bid it with that hand. I'd play King Queen 10 to 6 or something. Yeah, King Jack 10 to 6. Yeah, and they're marginal. You might or might not bid it with that hand. I agree. I probably wouldn't, but I don't disagree with it. Well, you certainly made it. Well, it should, but probably not on that line of play. Actually, let's replay the hand. I'll reload the hand and we'll do it once. I won't try undoing it. It doesn't like. Just open 7 clubs that one. Right, so basically, you win the diamond lead, and you cash the ace of clubs. Because if the clubs aren't 3-0, aren't 4-0, you can rough a spade in W for your 13th trick. Once the clubs are 4-0, you can't rough because there's a problem getting back to hand. So let's say you draw 4 rounds of trump. You still have lots of chances. The hearts 4-3, the spade finesse, or some sort of squeeze. Now we play 3 rounds of hearts, hoping the hearts are going to be 4-3. And the queen of hearts. Now, even though the hearts are not 4-3, they're 5-2, you rough a heart anyway. And now you cash your last trump. And you can throw the diamond from dummy. Now when you play a spade, you play a spade off dummy, and you know that each last card is a 10 of hearts. So when you play the king of spades, you know the queen's coming down under it. And the jack of spades is your 13th trick. Okay. Well, thank you for everybody coming. I think we were up to 60 odd at some point tonight. Just to let people know, classes are available. Anybody wants, Babs has posted my website address on the table there. Or you can email me. It's marc@bridgeteacher.com. Hang on, I'll type. Feel free to email me about questions or anything. Classes are available. I currently have a space in a Tuesday class which starts at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern, and a Thursday class which starts at 9 a.m. noon Eastern. And if there are 2 people who want to start a class any other time, I'm quite happy to start a class at whatever time is convenient to everybody with 2, with the hope we'll build up to 4 eventually anyway. So if neither of those, they're usually once a week, 2.5 hours. Cost is £12.50 per person for a class with a group. So if we have 4, 2, 3 or 4, I'm quite happy to run the class, and we'll aim to get up to 4. The Tuesday one currently has 3, so we're looking for a 4th for that one. The Thursday one currently has 2 regulars in a class of about 4. I think we've had 5 once in the last year, where everybody showed up. But there are 2 regulars and 2 who show up about once or twice a month. So that's another group that has space if anybody is interested and wants that type suits any. And as I say, we can do classes which are specifically or are mainly aimed at card play, where the hands are preset like those tonight, or hands which are primarily aimed at bidding, where we use random hands, and I throw out the dull ones, and whatever comes up we discuss. It's no positive response here. Yes, okay. 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 notes. 3 clubs puppet, 3 hearts. Now, when partner shows a 5 club major in response to puppet, you need 4 clubs and 4 diamonds available as natural for hands such as this. So, over 2 no trump, you bid 3 clubs puppet on that hand, partner bids 3 hearts, and now you can bid 4 clubs, which shows 5 or 6 clubs, probably 4 spades. There are 2 bids available, 1 over 3 hearts, which is 3 spades, and 1 over 3 spades, which is 4 hearts, which are artificial slam tries agreeing partners suit. So, when it goes to the trump and you bid puppet and partner bids 3 hearts, if you want to make a slam try agreeing hearts, 3 spades agrees hearts. Says nothing about spades, because you can't possibly have a natural 3 spade bid, because you would have started with 3 heart transfer. Similarly, if partner bids 3 spades over 3 clubs, 4 hearts agrees spades, and so I'm interested in slam. Because again, you can't have a natural 4 heart. But you need 4 clubs and 4 diamonds as natural exactly for this sort of hand. So if you don't make a positive on that hand, and I think that's marginal. I mean, I don't object to 3 clubs and I don't object to 2 diamonds on that hand. So if you don't make a positive, you will bid 2 no trump. You bid 2 diamonds, partner bids 2 no trump, and 3 clubs, 3 hearts, 4 clubs, 4 diamonds from partner, Cuban agreeing clubs, 4 hearts, 4 spades, you'll get to the same place. No, I absolutely prefer 2 diamonds as negative or weighting over 2 clubs. You really do need all the 2 hearts, 2 spades, 3 clubs, 3 diamonds as natural positive bids. I'm not a fan of using 2 no trump as anything. The problem that 2 clubs is not a good part of the system for natural systems, because it's okay when partner has a balanced hand. When he has a big distributional hand, he needs lots of room to show it, and he's used up a whole level of bidding already by opening 2 clubs. So anytime that unless you have a particular hand which is descriptive, where you have a good suit, you can just bid 2 diamonds, see why he's opened 2 clubs, and particularly if he bids 2 no trump or shows some balance test, you can just bid like you would, you have your whole system available like you would if he'd opened 2 no trump. So bidding generally is easier if you start with 2 diamonds and then advance your hand after that. Particularly if you play Kokish, which you should play, because that's easy and costs nothing to play. It's one of those conventions where you don't even have to give up a natural bid to play a method. So if you're not familiar with Kokish, there's plenty of articles online, just look it up. But it's one of the easiest and most useful conventions ever devised. It just adds, enables you to bid all those big balanced hands through 2 no trump. Yeah, Kokish, just spelled like that, Kokish. If you look it up online, you'll find half a dozen articles explaining it. It's very easy. Basically, you bid 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, you bid 2 hearts. Is either hearts or 25 plus balance. Partner has to bid 2 spades. You bid 2 no trump with the balanced hands and make a natural bid with all the anything else shows hearts. No, that's different from Kokish slam tries. They're different. We're talking Kokish over 2 no trump, over 2 clubs still. Yeah, somebody's posted a link to it for you. Well, if anybody else has any questions, feel free to post them.
Marc, thank you very much. That was an excellent session. I'm really looking forward to the video so that I can actually see what you said for 2.5 hours. Excellent session. Thank you very much.
Okay, if I send you the notes, can you post them on the forum somewhere?
I certainly can.
Okay, I'll email them to you. So the notes on today's hands will be on the forum somewhere.
That's super. Thank you very much, Marc. And contact Marc for lessons. I've taken lessons from him. He is a wonderful teacher, provides full notes, good sessions, very knowledgeable. So thank you again, Marc, and thank you for all our IAC members who support us. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Babs.